Hey my beautiful Sagittarian peeps, what's going on everybody? It's Sam from CancerMoonsTarot, and I'm coming at you guys with your mid-June 2022 tarot reading. How are you guys? I hope you guys are well. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into this and see what we got going on. We're going to go ahead and take a look at what's going on in your life here in mid-June 2022. What information do we got coming up here for the zodiac sign of Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout mid-June 2022. Let's go ahead and have ourselves a look. First card out is going to be the Five of Wands. Moving on to the next card for you, we do got here the Ten of Swords, and then lastly for my Sagittarius peeps, what do we have? We have two cards actually. We got here a Two of Swords followed up here with a Nine of Cups. So let's go ahead and talk about it. We got here the Five of Wands, the Ten of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and the Two of Swords. Now, with the Five of Wands here to the Ten of Swords, something that was very conflicting, very frustrating. I definitely feel like you've gotten to the point where you have blown your gasket. It's like there is nothing else I can do. There's nothing else I can take here. I definitely need a situation in my life to end. So I definitely feel like the stressful times here are about to come to an ending here for you because you're taking initiative here. You know, with the Two of Swords is typically that energy of feeling like you're stuck at a crossroads, but instead of being in this indecisive energy, you're getting very decisive here with the Nine of Cups, deciding to do what will work in your favor. So Sagittarius, right off the bat here, stepping into mid-June 2022, you're in a position right now where you're saying, look, the more that I feel conflicted, the more that I feel stuck, and the more that I feel at a crossroads, the more nothing is going to get done. If I'm in a very stressful environment, or if there's some sort of stressful factor right now that isn't serving me in my highest of good, the best thing that I can do right now is take initiative to walk away from that and focus on what's actually self-fulfilling and focus on what's actually good for me. So Sagittarius, I see you're removing some sort of stress factor here, tapping into mid-June 2022, and putting your energy and attention into something that's much more valuable of your time, your attention, your energy overall, okay? Let's go ahead and have a look here and see what's going to be going on in your surroundings and your social circle throughout the second half of the month here. So what information do we have here for the surroundings of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout mid-June 2022? Let's go ahead and have a look. First card out, we do got here the Knight of Cups. Typically with the Knight of Cups energy, I do feel like this is kind of representing that you do have people that you can have good times with, that you can have good energy with, you know? Knight of Cups is like, in my surroundings, I do have good people that I can count on, good people that I can share really good times with. Moving on to the next card for you, we also have here the Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen of Swords is representing, granted I have good people that I could spend great and amazing times with, I'm also in this position to where I'm making sure I'm very stern and I'm very blunt with what I no longer want. So you've moved out of this energy, Sagittarius, right? Of feeling very indecisive, on kind of letting people who are bringing any sort of conflict or stress to the table, like you've given a lot of people slack is what I'm feeling for you, but there will be no slack given here moving throughout the second half of June. You just don't got time anymore for people's BS or for anything that you don't feel is serving within your favor. So whatever's not in your comfort zone, whatever's not making you feel good, you have no problem swinging that sword over here with the Queen of Swords. Moving on to the next card for you, we do have here the Ten of Pentacles. So this is great. This means that you're choosing to surround yourself right now with the Ten of Pentacles, with everything that is stable, everything that's comfortable, everything that's good for you. Moving on to one final card, we also do have here the Four of Cups. So Sagittarius, it is definitely very much so showing the vibes of I am making sure that I'm surrounded by peace, love, and positivity, and anything else that doesn't resonate with my highest of good, my highest of vibration, I'm kicking that stuff to the curb. You know, you're very much so in this mentality where you're super blunt on whatever's not good for me will not be a part of me, point blank period. You know, and that definitely has to do with the recent situation you've dealt with, whatever was bringing you a great amount of stress. You know, I think you let something here, you gave something a slack for a while, you know, that was bringing in a great amount of stress, and it's just like, you know what, I can't do that in my life anymore. I got to stop giving people slack. I got to stop giving situations slack, because the more slack you've given, the more you've seen people take advantage of that, and that's just not a game you're willing to play here anymore, okay? Let's go ahead and clarify this Five of Wands back in the beginning. Tell me about the Five of Wands. Tell me about the situation Sagittarius was dealing with that stressed them out or brought any sort of negativity to the table. And what do we have? We have here the Tower. Oh yeah, so could have been a Scorpio possibly that you may feel brought a lot of intense energy into your life. You know, if you were dealing with a Scorpio, there is a potential here that there could have been a breakup with a Scorpio. But if this wasn't about a romantic breakup, you know, the Tower card here is talking about a foundation overall. You know, there's some sort of foundation here that was cracked. whether that foundation was the foundation you had within certain friendships, romantic relationships, your working environment, or whether that was even the foundation that you've laid out within yourself. You're recognizing here, I need a better foundation, right? When somebody makes their first masterpiece and that masterpiece doesn't hold up as they wish they wanted it to, people are going to be disappointed that their masterpiece was destroyed. But at the end of the day, they can take all the knowledge they've learned from creating that first masterpiece and then create a more solid and stronger foundation so that masterpiece can be upheld, okay? So what I'm feeling here for you, Sagittarius, is like you're taking all the lessons that you've learned from your previous situation and you're applying it going forward. For example, this kind of goes back to exactly what I've been talking about originally. You've been realizing that in your past, if you've given people too much slack, you're not going to be doing that moving forward. You're going to be more blunt with people, more upfront with people. Like, hey, you got one chance and that's really it, right? So with this energy showing up here for you throughout the second half of the month, I just feel like what you want moving forward is solid foundations with good people. And the moment that you start to see a crack in that foundation, the moment you start to see that it's not sturdy, that it's not stable, I think that you're in this position where you're not scared to let that foundation completely fall. Because at the end of the day, you want things in life right now that are very strong and sturdy. And we're talking about that on a relationship level, on a love level, on a financial level, on a spiritual level. You want to make sure everything right now is incredibly rock solid, okay? All right, guys, let's go ahead and have a look here and tune into your mental health here for the second half of the month. All right, what information do we have here regarding Sagittarians' mental health, please, throughout the second half of June 2022? First two cards out, we do got here the Magician, followed up here with the Moon card, and then moving on to one more card for you for your mental health, we do got here the Page of Cups. So I definitely feel like mentally you're in a pretty positive place here. When you have the Moon card followed up with the Magician, this is saying that you're allowing your emotions to manifest easily. You're allowing your emotions to come up with ease rather than burying them or pushing them away. So Sagittarius, you're not having a hard or difficult time at all when it comes towards facing how you're feeling. There is a lot of people, right, that could have difficulties with how they're feeling. I think that there's a good majority of people on the planet that when they start feeling something, they instantly walk the other way or they try to tune it out and shut it out. And when you're in that energy, you're only delaying the inevitable and you're also delaying your healing. So for you guys, looking at how everything's going mentally, you're not afraid to acknowledge what you're feeling. You're not afraid to face that head on when those feelings manifest. And most importantly, you're not afraid here to take action with those types of feelings that come up. So I do feel like mentally you've been in a very big place of awareness is what I could say here for you. You've just been very aware of how you felt. You've been very aware of what you're feeling, of what you should do about certain types of feelings that are coming up. And you're also in a space where you're not afraid to be vulnerable. So this is very good news. I think that mentally you're in a pretty strong place right now because you developed an honest and truthful relationship with yourself. If you can be truthful and honest about how you feel, you can overcome anything. All right. So this is really awesome too, man. I'm loving this energy for you. Let's go ahead and have a look here and see where things are going to be going or what you can expect more so throughout the rest of this month, okay? So what can my Sagittarians expect here throughout the rest of mid-June 2022? Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. First card out, we do got here the Six of Wands. Love to see it. Moving on to the next card for you, we do got here the Temperance, which is you. Moving on to the last two cards, we also got here an Eight of Wands, followed up with a beautiful and amazing Three of Wands. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Taking a look at what you can expect going forward, we have here the Six of Wands paired with the Temperance. Sagittarius, your energy is going to be a heck of a lot different than it was in the recent past. Like I talked about previously for you, you were feeling very indecisive to the point where you recognized that I can't be indecisive in my life anymore. I need to be a person of action. And because you're now in this space with the Six of Wands followed up here with the Temperance, you're going to be feeling incredibly great emotionally because you're making sure that you're surrounded with all the things that serve you emotionally. All right? You've gotten into a position right now where you're not going to tolerate anything that does not make you feel good or anything that does not serve in your highest of good. So Sagittarius, Six of Wands over here to the Temperance, you're going to be popping here moving forward. This is what you can expect throughout the second half of your June. Feeling good, looking good, being hella positive, being around good people, having good experiences. On a mental level, you're going to be rock solid. And with the Eight of Wands here to the Three of Wands, what this is essentially saying for you is that you're in a space too where going forward, you're going to be continuously excited for what comes next because you know that whatever comes your way going forward is going to be something good for you because you're not going to tolerate anything that doesn't serve you. So Sagittarians, it's like I'm not even worried about my my future right now because of what I'm doing in the present moment. I'm making sure that I'm good. I'm making sure that I'm taken care of. I'm making sure that I'm around good people. I'm making sure that I'm doing good things for myself. And the more good you do, right, in the present moment, is essentially the more good you're doing for your future, because what you do right now is what shapes and molds the future that you're going to be living tomorrow. So Sagittarius, I just feel a lot of excitement coming off of your energy here for you, moving throughout the rest of this month. You're pretty excited to see what comes next, because you know that if you're doing well now, you're going to be doing well here in your future. So I mean, the overall synopsis of what I'm gathering from this reading, guys, is that you went from a place where you saw a foundation in your life was starting to crack. It became a very stressful thing for you, and I think that you recognized, I have to take action and make a move on the things that are stressing me out in my life. You know, you gave a lot of leniency to situations that were stressing you out. You know, this cracked foundation could have been a relationship. It could have been a workplace. You know, it could have been friends. It could have been family. And you gave something a lot of slack for a while. And that started to become one of the things you're realizing that was hurting you the most. It was like the more slack that I would give people, the more slack that I would give situations, the worse those situations would start to become, and the worse that I would start to feel on a personal level. So you recognized, I can't be that person that gives slack anymore. I got to be very decisive here. 9 of Cups, and I got to look out for myself. I got to stop looking out for other people and giving people the benefit of the doubt, especially when they take advantage of those situations. I mean, looking at mid-June here, you know, going forward for you, you are making sure that you're surrounded by good people, good energy, good things, and you're making sure that your behavior here is not going to tolerate anything that doesn't serve in your highest of good. And I mean, based upon what you can expect going forward is all the more, much more positive things. I mean, there's really nothing else to say. It's like, if I'm taking care of myself right now in my life, then best believe I'm going to have a good future, because your present is essentially what creates your future. Okay? Before we jump to the outcome, I want to pull a little bit more information for you. I want to go back to this foundation thing. Okay? So let's go ahead and have more information on what you were dealing with. Okay? So give me some more information here on what Sagittarius was dealing with, and what is it exactly that really made them say that they need to stand up and be decisive. First card out, we do got here the Empress. Moving on to the next card for you, we do have here the Death card. And then moving on to the last and final card that we have for you, Sagittarius, is going to be the Sun card. So, taking a look at what made you recognize that you needed to be more decisive in your life is essentially a giant growth period and transformative period that you were going through. I think the Empress card is the realization of a person's beauty. When you look at the Empress, right, the Empress is an individual who represents the beauty not only from outside, but also the beauty from within. And you started to see yourself, the real you, the real Sagittarius, and the person that started to deserve the most wonderful things in life. You know, maybe in your past you didn't view yourself in this aspect or view yourself in this manner, but you started to recognize how beautiful you are on the inside and the outside, and how deserving you are of love, and how deserving you are of all the good things in life. And when people start to make these realizations, they start to really observe the current circumstances that they're involved in. And if their circumstances aren't in alignment with you having the best out of this life experience, that's when changes are being made accordingly. So we do have here the Death card too and the Sun card. And what you wanted to transform your life to was a life of happiness, fulfillment, and positivity, because you started to see who the true Sagittarius is. You know, I think it takes a lot of people a while to realize their inner beauty, to realize the beautiful being that they are. I think that we're programmed in life to constantly feel like we need to put ourselves down, and we're constantly programmed in life to never really see all the beautiful aspects of who we are and what we are. But when we really get to have that moment where we sit with ourselves and we can see the goddamn gorgeous being that we are, that's when we start to recognize that our tolerance level does not need to be so damn high for individuals and situations that do not deserve us. Okay? All right, Saggy, let's go ahead and jump on into the outcome here for you regarding your mid-June 2022. What's going to be the overall outcome here for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout the second half of the month? And what do we have here? We have here the Five of Pentacles, and I actually like that energy for you being the outcome. I'm going to pull one more card, but let me tell you why I like this Five of Pentacles. And beautiful, we got here the Page of Pentacles. The reason I like this Five of Pentacles is because, granted, it's a card that can show up as lack, or it's a card that can show up as somebody who's left out in the cold. What I see this Five of Pentacles as is you, Sagittarius, abandoning the person you used to be as you're now morphing into somebody brand new. Page of Pentacles here says, this is the new Sagittarius Sagittarius that you're offering to the world. The old Sagittarius, she no longer exists. He no longer exists. That old Sagittarius is gone. So this is basically showing up that the old you ain't the same person anymore. You're a brand new individual coming into the second half of the month here, and you're really starting to love this new Sagittarius, this new version of you going forward. So guys, really wonderful and fantastic reading. Absolutely loving this energy for you. As far as some things that I am seeing coming up for you in your life, there is a potential here, by the way, for a new job to be manifesting. So some of you guys might be getting a new work here, because the Tower card, by the way, in the beginning could represent that there might be a job potentially that's going out of business, especially if you're working at a certain job. So if you're a Sagittarius who's recently lost their job, there is a chance over here with the Page of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles that you will be regaining your stability, aka a new job will be coming in here for you. So just more in a general aspect as well, this could be good here for finances. For those of you that have been dealing with financial struggles, there does seem to be some sort of job or some sort of new beginning coming in here for you to increase your income. So Sagittarians, for those of you that were worried about money, fear not. I definitely feel like in the second half of June, you will see increases and gains in your finances. I do see as well, as I mentioned, Sagittarius, I told you that your tolerance level is not going to be very high for people's BS, and that's true here with that Four of Cups. I do feel for you that anything that does not feel that it is worthy enough to be within your space and energy, you're not going to give it the time of day. So what's happening here in your second half of the month is that you're becoming this person who really sees their value. And the more that a person sees their value, the more that a person attracts what they're valuable and worthy of. So Sagittarius, so long as you continue to see your value moving throughout the second half of June here, expect to manifest things that equate to how you see yourself. I always tell people this, by the way, people who want to get rich, people who want money, people who want love, you need to feel that and see that within yourself first. For example, if you only believe you're worthy of making $40,000 a year, that's going to be your salary. But if you're a person who believes that you're worthy of making $150,000 a year, that'll be your salary. Because if you don't feel worthy enough to attain what you want to manifest, you're not going to be able to get there. If you're a person who does not love themselves and does not feel like they're beautiful, how do you expect to attract somebody to love you and feel as if you're beautiful? Because even if somebody does love you and feel that you're beautiful, if you don't feel that way within yourself, you're never going to believe it. You're always going to be pushing away those opportunities. So it's very important to continue to recognize that value that you have. Remember, when you recognize your value, things equate to the way that you value yourself, all right? Use that to your advantage going forward. All right, Sagittarius, love this reading for you guys. Love seeing this change in your attitude. It's looking like a pretty fantastic second half of your month. If you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. And with that being said, guys, have a good one, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Much love, Sag, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.